Good day everyone. In today's video we have a quarter of a circle inscribed in a square. We are now going to attempt to find the radius of the circle. So here is the center of the circle, and from any point from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference is the radius of the circle. So here is the radius of the circle. This is also the radius of the circle. From this point to this point is the radius of the circle. Now let me trace down from here down to this point. Okay, now follow my blue ink. From here to here is B. So let's go down. From here to this point is also going to be what? B. So therefore I can label this as B. Then what about from this region to this region? So if the whole line is R and this small portion is B, so therefore here is going to be R negative B. Now from this point up here is the radius of the circle, so we're going to label it as R. Okay, good. Now I want you to follow my green ink. Now let's trace from this point down here. Okay, good. Now follow my green ink. From here to here is 2B. Therefore from here to here is also going to be what? 2B. Now if that is 2B, then from this point to this point is going to be R negative 2B. Now if from here to here is R negative 2B, just follow my blue ink. So it only means that from here to here is going to be R negative 2B2. Alright, so I will write R negative 2B here. So now I have a triangle. So let me trace out that triangle. Alright, now so we can find our R. But before we do that, because we can actually use Pythagoras theorem here. But before we do that, we have to find what the value of B is to make it easy for us to find R. So how are we going to go about finding B? Now let's focus on the rectangle up here. I'm going to trace it out with my blue ink. So let's follow. Okay, we have this, we have this, we have that. So let's withdraw that rectangle. So if this side is 2B, here is also going to be 2B. So we have a triangle again. So we're going to use Pythagoras theorem to solve this. And the hypotenuse side is 10. So 10 squared is equals to 2B squared plus B squared. So this is 100. 2B squared, so that's going to give us 4B squared plus B squared. So 100 is equals to 4B squared plus B squared, that is 5B squared. So we divide both sides by 5, and that's going to give us 100 divided by 5, 5B squared divided by 5. So we have 20 is equals to B squared. Okay, so we'll find the square root of both sides of the equation. Square root of 20 and square root of B squared. Square root will cancel square, and square root of 20, that should give us 2 root 5. So B is actually 2 root 5. Now we know what the value of B is, that's 2 root 5. Now we're going to focus on this triangle. Alright, so using Pythagoras theorem, the hypotenuse side is R squared. Okay, and we're going to square the other two sides. So we have R minus B squared plus R negative 2B squared. Alright, so let's have it. So R squared So if we expand this, this is going to give us r squared negative 2rb plus b squared. So if we expand it, that's what's going to give us. And if we expand this to, that's going to give us r squared negative 4rb plus 4b squared. Alright, that's good. Let's proceed. So we collect like times here. R squared equals 2. So let's collect our like times. There's r squared here. There's r squared here. So that's going to give us 2r squared. So we have 2rb here. We have 4rb here. Both are negative. So that will give us negative 6rb. Then we've got b squared here. We have another 4b squared here, and that's going to give us plus 5b squared. Okay, so we can further collect like times. If we subtract r squared from both sides of the equation, so that's going to give us 0 is equals to 2r squared negative r squared negative 6rb plus 5b squared. So this is going to be 0 is equals to r squared negative 6rb plus 5b squared. So what we are going to do at this point is to substitute b with 2 root 5. So we're going to have 0 is equals to r squared negative 6r. So b is 2 root 5. So we have 2 root 5 plus 5. B is also 2 root 5, but we are squaring it now to square root of 5, everything squared. Alright, so we've got 0 here is equals to r squared negative. This should give us 6 times 2 root 5. That's going to give us 12 root 5 multiplied by r plus 5. So 2 root 5 squared. So that should give us 2 squared. That's 4. Root 5 squared. That should give us 5. Okay, so we've got 0 equals to r squared negative 12 root 5 dot square dot r multiplied by r plus 4 times 5, that's 20. 20 times 5, that's going to give us 100. So we have a quadratic equation. So we're going to solve for r, and for the sake of convenience, we're going to use the quadratic formula. The coefficient of r squared is 1, so a is 1. The coefficient of r is negative 12 root 5. B is negative 12 root 5. And C is 100. So we're going to substitute these values into the quadratic formula. R is equals to negative, our B is negative 12 root 5. Negative 12 root 5. Alright, plus or minus square root b squared negative 12 root 5. We're going to square it, negative 4 multiplied by a is 1 multiplied by c is 100. Okay, everything divided by 2a. A is 1 multiplied by 1. So negative will multiply negative, that will be positive, and so we're going to have 12 root 5 here. Okay, plus or minus. Okay, square root. Okay, this should extend up to this point. So negative 12, negative root 5 squared. So negative 12 squared, that should be 144. And root 5 squared, that's 5. So 144 times 5. Alright, so we have negative 4 times 1, 4 times 100, that is 400. Everything divided by 2 times 1, that's going to give us 2. is equals to 12 root 5 plus or minus. So 144 times 5, that's 720 negative 400 divided by 2. So we have 12 root 5, okay, plus or minus 720 negative 400, that is 320. So we're going to have divided by 2. So we're going to have 12 root 5 plus or minus 320 is actually 64 times 5. Alright, everything divided by 2. Then we have 12 root 5, okay, plus or minus square root of 64. So this will be square root of 64 multiplied by square root of 5. Everything divided by 2. So what do you have? You have 12 root 5 plus or minus square root of 64, that's 8. 8 root 5 divided by 2. So we can proceed to have 12 root 5 divided by 2 plus or minus 8 root 5 divided by 2. And this is going to give us 6 root 5 plus or minus 4 root 5. So we have two solutions, 6 root 5 negative 4 root 5, and that's going to give us 2 root 5. This is the first solution. Or we have 6 root 5 plus 4 root 5. So that's going to give us 10 root 5. So this is the second solution. So 2 root 5 is not a solution because if you remember our B, so if we say our R is 2 root 5, so remember that B is also 2 root 5. So because if you look down here, we have R negative B. So are we going to say 2 root 5 negative 2 root 5, giving us 0, saying the length of this side of the triangle is 0? No. So 2 root 5 is actually not a solution. So our radius is 10 root 5. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.